All right, so our next lesson is moving on to 10.6. We're in the second half of our Unit 10 polynomials unit, where the first half we found out how to name them, add them, subtract them, multiply them using the box method, and solve them. For the second half of Unit 10, I'm going to teach you how to factor, which is something very, very important. It's a major milestone in your Algebra 1 material because factoring is something you're going to have to do in every single class. All right? So in your notes, it says when you multiply two linear binomials, you always produce a quadratic trinomial. So I want you to look at that first sentence in your notes and please underline the term quadratic trinomial. We're going to break this down. Now, you may not have realized it, but when you had those two binomials in section 10.3 and you used the box method, all of your answers produced a quadratic trinomial. So let's break this down. Quadratic, what does that mean your degree is? The highest degree for a quadratic polynomial is 2. Highest, write this down, degree is 2. And then for your trinomial, how many terms do you have? 3 terms. All right? So every answer when you did your box method gave you a quadratic trinomial unless it was a special case. Then you didn't have that. So what we're going to do now when we factor, if you look at the next sentence, if you're given a quadratic trinomial, there will be times when you are asked to find the two linear binomials. So in essence, factoring is working backwards. You're going to start with the quadratic trinomial, and through factoring, which is what I'm going to show you today, your answer will give you a linear binomial. This will be your answer. You'll start off with the quadratic trinomial. I'll show you how to factor. Your answer will be a linear binomial. So underline that term in the second sentence, and let's break that down. What's the highest degree of a linear term? Hopefully you know it's 1. The highest degree is 1. And then binomial, how many terms do you have in a binomial? 2 terms. So that is what we're going to be doing for the next couple of days. All of your answers, for the most part, will be 2 linear binomials. Now, when we start talking about factoring a trinomial, the trinomial has to be written in a special form, and we call that the standard form. This is what you put in the box. Every time you write a quadratic trinomial that you want to factor, it has to look like this. Ax squared, this is what you put in the box, plus bx plus c. And then we box it like that. That's your standard form. The a and the b are your coefficients. And then if you remember, the number without a variable is called a constant. So here is where we'll start. All of our problems will start out looking like this. And then we're going to do our factoring. And our answer is going to look like that with the numbers and the variables and things like that in it. So in the next video, I'm going to take you through the steps. We factor in a very, very special way here. And so I'm going to show you how to do that, and we'll try a few.